The disengagement happened in February this year, almost 10 months after the crisis began. And to be very clear, it was disengagement, not de-escalation or de-induction. And let me clarify these three terms. Disengagement is when soldiers or forces of either side are in eyeball to eyeball contact and they step back. That is disengagement, that they have disengaged from the side. They step back, but they go to areas which are maybe half a mile, a couple of miles away. They can again very quickly come and get deployed in these areas. So this is not de-escalation. De-escalation is when they have gone back to their permanent bases, which may be 15, 20, 30, 50 miles behind. And de-induction is when these additional forces which had come into this sector are actually moved out of the sector. So people which have come from plains of North Indian plains to Ladakh go back to those North Indian plains. That would be de-induction. So what we saw was essentially very limited disengagement in two parts: the north bank of Pangong Lake and towards the south bank of Pangong Lake in the Kailash range. In the Kailash range, Indian soldiers and Indian tanks had gone in, and they were being confronted by PLA soldiers and PLA tanks. And as the pictures later have shown, these tanks were virtually 20 to 30 meters apart. They were barely, they were like handshaking distance apart. And this was a major challenge for both the sides because any incident, any accident could have triggered a major crisis. Somebody just losing control, a soldier losing control, opening fire, somebody abusing the other guy, and the other guy losing temper. Anything could have led to a crisis. It was a tinderbox kind of a situation, and therefore the two sides were very keen that the disengagement happens in these areas. And by eventually after 8 rounds of talk, 9 rounds of talks, out of which last 3 to 4 rounds were primarily about finding a way to disengage from these areas. These areas, the Pangong Lake and the southern bank of Pangong Lake, these two areas, the disengagement took place. But from the other four sites where there's a challenge, where there's a problem going on, what the Indians call our friction points, it is Depsang, Demchok, Hot Spring, Gogra. The crisis still remains. There has been no disengagement from those areas, and even in the areas of Pangong and in Kailash range, there has been only disengagement. There has been no de-escalation, and of course, there has been no de-induction by either side so far.
If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the Eastern Ladakh Crisis, please check out the other videos in our exclusive interview series here on our YouTube channel and visit stratlearning.org to enroll for free in Deterrence in Southern Asia.